Press the bell icon so that you don't miss any updates from Walkspace.
Has your own acting been inhibited by directing yourself?
Never, no.
Some people think that Harry Lime was perhaps your best realized performance in films.
It's the best part I ever had in films.
It was a pretty short part.
Yeah, but, you know.
You were talked about a lot, but it was a short
Best
part.
part I ever had. Or I don't think there's been as good a part in a movie since the war for any actor.
But you'd agree that you also had a good director?
Oh, marvelous.
In Carol Reed.
Marvelous.
No. But had you directed it yourself, you don't think it would have made that much difference?
Oh, I don't think that's a fair question, you know?
Well, I'm trying to get back to my original question, which was...
Because I don't want to seem to be ungrateful to Carol Reed, and yet I don't really and honestly think that an actor who is a director needs a director in movies as much as he does on the stage. It's so easy to direct yourself in movies. It's very hard in the theater, and yet actors have been directing themselves in the theater for 2,000 years. But in movies, it's very easy.
I'm going to try it another way. Would you like the opportunity of directing Charlie Chaplin?
Yes, I wrote a movie for him, and he agreed to do it for a year, and finally got cold feet and bought the film for me. It was Monsieur Verdoux.
And he directed it himself?
Yes. But I wanted to direct it, and for a long time he agreed to let me, and then he finally decided to make it himself.
Well, is it a fair question to ask you if you think it might have been a better performance in some ways had you directed it?
It would have been a better picture. I don't think it would have been a better performance, because he is essentially a great actor and a good director, and it is conceivable that he could have a better movie than he can make, a better talking movie than he can make as a director.
But this is simply a qualification of his directing ability.
Not of his acting ability.
And has nothing to do with whether he is acting at the same time as he's directing.
Not at all.
I see. Well, I'm stymied there, too.
No, I don't want to stymie you. Excuse me. I've been playing lawyers too often in movies the last couple of years, I think. I just got out of a big courtroom scene now, and I'm so used to thwarting the prosecutor here that's probably... I'm not being fair. I know what you're trying to get me to admit, that I would act better if I allowed myself to be directed, and it's something I don't want to admit because I get so few chances to direct. And I'm always being directed that I don't want to go around saying how glad I am to have directors, because I'm always looking for a chance to direct.
Well, that's fair enough. But
can't be more frank than that.
But they are basically two jobs, aren't they? Is it not possible that you could conceivably do a better job of one or the other if you had only one to concentrate on?
No, not in movies.
Not in movies.
Not a real actor-director in movies. I'm convinced of it. I don't think that Olivier would be any better in Shakespeare in the movies with another director. I might, as a rival director, think somebody could make a better picture around it, as I do Chaplin, or as he might think about my pictures.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's anything to do with him as an actor that amounts to anything. There might be a take or two you'd improve, but not enough so it matters. I think first of all, I think directing is the most overrated job in the world. It's the only one I really love in show business, but I think it is tremendously overrated.
Well, now, can that be true in the sense that a great many people that I've talked to who have worked under you as a director have said that they have never been able to duplicate a performance under another director as they have under you? This is a statement from an actor and an actress, which seems to indicate that directing is to them terribly important.
I think it is to actors. I agree. But I think that a director ought to be the assistant and the foundation of a performance, you know? And I think that is a very difficult job, a very worthy job, one that I'm proud to do, and the only one in films that gives me any pleasure at all. I loathe acting in films. But I do think that it's been overblown.
Then why aren't there more good directors?
Oh, well.
There are a lot of bad directors at work. I mean, we can say that.
There are more bad directors at work than people know. because it's the only profession, movie directing, not stage directing, the only profession in the world where you can be incompetent and go on being successful for 30 years with nobody ever discovering it.
Well, now why?
I mean, utterly and truly incompetent.
Well, now why is that?
Because the only job that a director can do in a film of real value is to do something more than what will happen automatically. If the story is put on, if the actors are good, they find themselves around the cutter, the cameraman, everything. If a director is something of a cameraman, something of a cutter, something of an actor, something of a writer, and preferably completely a cameraman, completely a writer, completely an actor, then his contribution is a real one. Otherwise, he's simply the man that says, action, cut, take it a little slower, take it a little faster, and nobody will ever discover that he doesn't know anything.